So I played Brawhalla ranked for a month straight, just to see how far I can get. And as someone who doesn't really play any platform fighters or fighting games, or really games in general, my goal was just to get to the highest rank. Now I've actually played this game before, it's pretty much the only game I've ever played ranked in, but then like 2 years ago, and it's pretty much just my friend carrying me in duos the whole time. But I can't do that this time. This time, I self-imposed rules on myself because I felt like it. There's just 2 big rules and 1 big objective. The first rule is that I cannot play anymore once the month ends. Second is that it has to be ranked solo, nothing else. The objective was to get to platinum, but the more realistic objective was to get to gold. So here's my game plan. An average game is around 5 minutes. If I just play for an hour every day, that's 12 games a day. I just need to win majority of those and I'm good. My main was going to be the sentient suit of armor named Magyar, as I've played him before, and this giant broadsword has some very good and very easy combos. Day 1 just started with my placement matches, and obviously with virtually no warm-up, I didn't do too hot. Ended up placed at silver 2. After the placement matches though, I started to pick up some heat, started racking up some nice wins, some nice elo, and even started getting pretty close to gold. I was starting to think that this plat goal wasn't that unrealistic. Going on a pretty nice win streak, I started to feel a little invincible, even a little unstoppable. Until I lost one match, and then another, and another, and I ended up all the way back in silver 2, back where I started. That's when I realized that this is not going to be as easy as I thought it would be, or even nearly as fun. I never really get mad at video games, even in the most frustrating moments, but this game is just something else. There's something about the way that people act in this game makes me want to throw a fire hydrant at the screen. Every time someone taunts in this game, which for some reason they only do when they're losing, it makes me want to commit a misdemeanor. Most days, I just committed to the whole 1 hour a day thing, but after the huge losing streak of last week, I decided I was going to dedicate my whole weekend to grinding to make it up. If I couldn't skill my way to the top, I was just going to brute force myself there. So I got ready for a 3-hour grind session. It did not go well. In fact, I ended up losing more games than I won, even ending up at silver 1. If I dropped down to bronze, I honestly might have quit. Brute forcing simply wasn't working. I needed a new strategy, and that strategy that I ended up going with was more brute forcing. I ended up grinding for even longer than the day before, which could not have been good for me considering how angry I kept getting. But it started to work. I started to make some slow but steady progress towards gold. At this point, I really started to get a hang of my character, especially his hammer. That was the weapon I was less comfortable with at the start. But after this many games, I started to learn how to use it effectively, and the synergy between me and Magyar increased. I started to get really close to gold, so close in fact that I ended up actually getting it. After the massacre in week 1, I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it to this. This was incredible. While it may have been slower than I was expecting before I started, this was not something I was expecting week 2, considering how fast I was making progress beforehand. Gold in the bag week 2, I started to feel confident about plat again, but I couldn't handle much more of this game, so I took a small 3-day break. It was the first and only break. I felt like I deserved it. So my first day after the break, I thought I could maybe test the waters in gold, see how much harder it was going to be. I ended up losing the first game, but that was fine. I was still technically in gold, just gold 0, which is just essentially a reskin of silver 5. But then I lost again and again, down to silver 4, back to silver 5, and ending up back in silver 4. That was my shortest day. I played for less than half an hour, and it was my first Alt F4 in the middle of a match. After such a demoralizing loss, I just started grinding, brain off. Just needed to keep working on the challenge, but just so exhausting. I just couldn't take another break. It was already day 18, and I just had to keep playing. I didn't really make any progress doing this. In fact, I lost a ton of elo like this, going down to silver 2 at some point, but it was all I felt like doing. This method persisted through week 4, yielding a little progress, but I was running out of time. Once it got to the weekend, I was going to have to grind harder than I ever grinded before. So I got ready for the most miserable experience of my life. Can I go on a little rant real quick? This game isn't that bad. The movement feels decent, some of the weapons are pretty fun to use, the art style isn't bad, character design isn't bad, the combat's decent. But that's not why I hate this game. I hate this game with a burning passion because of the people who play it. If you play Brawhalla on silver or low gold, I will never respect you ever. Every single match, someone will play one of the 5 most annoying characters in the game. The stupid heavy attack that covers half the screen and does 8 million damage, instantly vaporizing me on the spot. Half the players don't even know what the left click button is, but even if they do, it's still not better because they can combo. So impressive that they googled spear combo tutorial, and the amount of people I've seen spend money on this game. It isn't Fortnite. What do you even need skins for? You're in Silver 3. You need to spend $70 on this game? Like, are you seriously having fun playing this? You psychopath. And the new weapon they added, the cleats? If you use that, you should honestly... Sorry, back to the grind. It started off slow. It wasn't really working well, but it was working. If I just kept at it, eventually I'll reach gold. And after hours of struggling, I did end up making it to gold, but my hubris got the best of me and I eventually fell back to silver. This time though, I had enough sense in me not to continue grinding, and instead continue another day. Three days are left, and I was in Silver 4. Plat has been out of the question for a while, but seeing my recent performance, I didn't even know if I'll be able to make it a gold. But I still had to try. Day 29 ended in no progress, Silver 4 to Silver 4. But that's not terrible, at least I didn't lose rank. But that's not what I felt at the time. I may or may not have Alt F4'd again. Day 30, I was not so lucky. Started to lose, got down to Silver 3, and decided to quit for the day. Wasting time is better than wasting elo after all. But here's the problem. All I had left was day 31, and I wasn't in a position for quick and easy gold. I didn't even have the full day to grind. It wasn't looking good. I wasn't sure if it was possible anymore. After all this build-up, 30 days of the most painful, miserable gameplay possibly imaginable, and I'd have nothing to show for it. But I wasn't gonna give up yet. I was gonna throw everything I had left at this, try harder than I ever tried before. In reality, I was mostly just playing normally, but I just have to make it more dramatic for the video. But I ended up facing no real opponents that day. Multiple people are just AFK, and I know I shouldn't kill them if they're AFK, but they're in ranked, it's their own damn fault. Many of the players just simply weren't very good. Finally, on the final day after the challenge, I made it to gold for the 3rd time. So, what did we learn? I learned that I hate Brawhalla and I'll hopefully never play it again. But seriously, while gold isn't even impressive, I literally wasn't high enough elo to even show up on brawhalla.com/rankings. But I made it here myself, and I'm proud of myself for this small accomplishment. But was it all worth it? Hell no. But hey, if you stuck around this long and you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate if you subscribed or at least left a like. It's the first real video I've ever made, and I did actually put some effort into this. So it'd be pretty cool if you subbed and shared with 8 friends, or you will be cursed forever.